Well, this is the way, or one of the ways in which I like to make arrows. Starting with cutting with my saw, table saw, down to 3/8, anywhere between 3/8 of an inch or maybe 3/8 plus of an inch. A bit wider, doesn't matter. And then if I don't have enough plank, you can see this diagonal cut that I did over here after carefully measuring at an angle. I didn't really figure out the degree of angle, but here it is. And doing both ends so that I end up having a reasonably lengthy, say 25, 26, or 28 inch shaft. It's square right now. And after this glue had dried, it's already been pressed and everything, real tight, in a vise until it fully dried. That's the real thing about any general woodworking. You always want to be sure that you don't just glue wood parts together and expect them to stay, because they can break, and they'll break right at the point, or snap right at the point where you had glued them. So what I do, and I learned this from a good friend years ago. In fact, I think my grandfather and my father even taught me this when I was a boy. I was starting working, doing woodworking in a shop of any kind. That you should always tight press with a tools such as these, or this, or a vise, to put it under extreme pressure until it's completely hard and dried. And what happens when you do that, if there is a breakage, it'd be very surprising to find that it broke at the very same place where the two parts were joined together. It would break somewhere else, which says something about the way the glue is pressed very heavily and very deeply inside the wood. Now what's going to happen eventually is I'll go in it and I use these tools, this hand sander that I have with 40 to 60 grit. 40, I think it's 40 grit, very rough, so that what I can do, I can sand this thing down on the edges until I make this complete stick round, the beginning of an arrow, so that what I have eventually is this. This is one of these that was made in that fashion. Same thing.